We're built on equality. The country was founded on that. And I think the most important place to be equal is in court.
I've always found in the last 19 years that pro bono service is so important to allow people that haven't had access to the legal system to get that access and get the help they need.
Pro bono work is important to give to the disadvantaged and low-income people in the community access to the legal system that they would not otherwise have. And it's just as important for the volunteers who are providing that access.
I find that pro bono clients oftentimes just want someone to hear them, to hear their story, to be their advocate. They are going through this journey by themselves and they're very burdened by this. I feel that the service we provide gives them that voice, and we're able to amplify their voice and hopefully give them the justice they deserve.
It can really help things dramatically for clients. I have helped people recover their kidnapped children. I have had people get petitions against them dismissed for lack of standing where the court didn't ever evaluate standing. There are massive changes to the outcome of these cases just because they have an attorney with some knowledge advocating for them and being their voice.
True justice is not received if the results are dictated by the amount of money that someone has to access the court system. So by providing pro bono service, we're able to bridge that gap and to hopefully help people achieve real justice.
Clients that are represented by attorneys through Lackawanna Pro Bono have a renewed sense of pride and hope. They walk into the courtroom much better off than they were before.
When someone comes in to see me and it's a pro bono client, that person's usually in a tough spot and they don't know where to turn. They don't have the means to hire an attorney, and I'm able to step in and hopefully help them solve their problem and help them better their lives.
The clients that I've had the opportunity to meet with and help over time through Lackawanna Pro Bono have told me that they're really grateful because they just didn't know what they would do. They were lost otherwise, and that's really what pro bono services have taught me are important to the clients.
Pro bono work gives me a unique perspective because I'm able to see direct impacts on the client. It's not something that takes years, it takes days, it takes minutes to be able to feel like you've made an impact in somebody's life.
Pro bono gives everyone an equal chance to be heard by a judge and an equal chance to have fair and competent representation. Otherwise, they're pro se. That's not always a good idea.
I think pro bono work is really in my blood. My mother's first job was as the pro se law clerk in federal court, and I've really just followed that ever since.
Pro bono work always matters.
No matter what the result of the actual representation is, I feel really good that I can do something for someone who otherwise couldn't afford a lawyer.
Personally, I find it very gratifying, very satisfying that I'm able to use my skills, my expertise, and my knowledge to help someone else, help them better their lives, help them better their situation, and help them move forward.
My husband doesn't understand why I do pro bono work, but he's not an attorney. I do pro bono work because I need to help people.
There's really nothing more personally meaningful than the work that I do for Lackawanna Pro Bono.
Well, I've always felt it's very important to give back, to help the community, and in performing pro bono work, we're helping the client, we're streamlining the process, and we're helping the courts, and we're performing a very noble and necessary duty to the fellow citizens in our community.
The work that Lackawanna Pro Bono does and that of the volunteer attorneys that work through it is crucial to our court system and its participants.
While under the law, an individual representing himself or herself may not be afforded special treatment because they are unrepresented by counsel, the reality is that judges who are fair-minded by nature don't relish having to weigh that legal maxim against the reality of the imbalance facing a pro se litigant versus a represented party.
Pro bono work is very important to the justice system because sometimes judges and attorneys and administrators get bogged down with their busy schedules and busy dockets, and they might not have the time to sit and look at every single litigant as a person. And so if you're there to advocate for those people, as people, then that also helps the court to see them as people.
The pro bono program gives a voice to those individuals who otherwise would not have an attorney advocating their position and pleading their case in court.
The words equal justice under the law are carved in stone at the United States Supreme Court. Attorneys that provide pro bono legal services help us all to move closer to that ideal.